Welcome back to Algebra II, Chapter 1, Section 4, Goal 1 in this book. And if you have this book, follow along. If not, just learn the concepts. Okay, so rewriting equations, very important. A lot of times you have an equation and you need to solve for y. Why do we solve for y? That's fun to say. Because we have this button on our calculator right there that says y equals. And it'll be imperative that we often solve equations for y equals so we can graph them, so we can check them, so we can use our calculator to the fullest extent of the law. There are videos that go with each chapter. There are calculator videos where I zoom in on the calculator and show you exactly which button to push. Really, really important that you do that you do the calculator assignments, because this is allowed to be used in college, but they don't really teach you how to use it, and it's not intuitive. So you need to get good at your calculator now before you get to college. Alright, so we're going to solve for y. So what are we going to ask? Why is y not alone? Which is always fun to say. And there's two things. There's a plus 7x and a 3. Which one are we getting rid of first? The 7x. So what's the opposite of this? Notice the minus goes with the 3y, not the 7x. The 7x is positive. So the opposite is minus 7x. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Those cancel out. We bring down what we didn't mess with. Now, by tradition, you write x's before bare numbers. So we're going to do it. Every now and then your book doesn't follow that, but they need to. It keeps it more organized in your brain. Alright, now, why is y not alone? It's being multiplied by a negative 3. So what's the opposite? Divide by negative 3. Who gets divided by negative 3? Everybody gets divided by negative 3. I call it the pirate rule of math. Probably nobody else does. Because I imagine there's some pirates and they're in Tortuga and someone got some gold doubloons and they say rum for everybody. But instead, it's divided by 3 for everybody. It's a pirate divided by 3 party. So you get divided by 3 and you get divided by 3. I've also had kids say it's Oprah, giving people cars. I wish you'd give me a car. I sold my car sort of impulsively because I didn't want to get it fixed. So I sold it to this kid and he fixed it for $20. I saw it today zipping down the road and I was like, ooh, I probably should have held on to that. So I'm in the market for a car. Oprah. Alright, so what happens to these negative 3's? They cancel out. Now then. So now we just write it all pretty. So two negatives make a positive, so this is 7/3 x, and one negative makes it a negative, and it's 8/3. 8/3, my little dyslexia coming out writing the wrong number. Notice that we don't make these proper fractions. We prefer improper fractions in algebra. Alright, how about this one? This is a mess. Doesn't matter. We can still do it. Why is y not alone? It's got a plus x and times x. We're getting rid of plus x first. So we minus x by both sides. So we get xy equals negative x plus 1. By tradition, x is before 1's. Why is x not alone? Why is y not alone? It's being multiplied by an x. What's the opposite? Divided by an x. What we do to one side, we do to the other. And we can do it like that. Those cancel out because it's the pirate rule, and we get y equals negative 1 because the x divided by x cancels out, negative 1 plus 1 over x. Then they said, what if x equals 1? We would put it in the calculator, put it here, and that'd be negative 1 plus 1, so y would be equal to 0, and if it was 3, it'd be negative 1 plus a third, which would be negative 2/3. Now, but what I want to tell you is that your calculator will actually do those for you. Negative 1 minus 1 equals, oh, I did x equals 1. I was like, we got different answers. They did x equals negative 1, and if x equals negative 1, then it's plus, so it's negative 2. When I do the right problem, I usually get the right answer, but not always. There you go, negative 2. Alright, so anyway, if you put this in your calculator under the y equals button and graph it, then you can hit trace and say negative 1 and it'll tell you the answer. So I will show you how to do that on your calculator. It's a great way to check things. Alright, next is we have a word problem, but they didn't give us any numbers. Oh, no fair at all. They say we're selling stuff for a benefit, and we'll raise a total number of money. We're going to have adult tickets and child tickets. I made the adult tickets X and the child tickets Y. The adults will have one price, the child will have another. We're supposed to write an equation that this represents. Well, I say the total money equals the price of the adults times the number of adults plus the price of the child times the number of the child. Now, this is not the usual problem. Usually they'll tell us how much they want to raise or how many tickets they sold. You write two equations and find out where they intersect. But we did it. Now, the last thing on this chapter is, if you look on page 28, they have a bunch of formulas, and they show you how you can rearrange a formula for a variable. For example, speed equals distance over time. So if I wanted time by itself, I would multiply both sides by time. Those would cancel out, and then I would divide both sides by speed, and time equals distance over speed. Or if I wanted distance by itself, then I would multiply both sides by time. Those would cancel out, and distance equals time times speed. Now, I want you to never do this. What I just did, I forbid you to do it. Really? Yes. See, my degree is in science, it's not math. Math teachers, bless their hearts, think, oh look, here's an application of math. No. What you want to do is you always want to use formulas straight. You want to use it the regular way. E equals mc squared. No solving for C. We're going to use it E equals mc squared. And even if C is what we're looking for, we just sing substitute. Oh, we don't have one up here. We sing substitute, put it in, and then solve. We don't have to isolate a variable to solve for it. Why do I want you not to isolate variables? Because I know math, I teach chemistry, I teach physics, I teach biology. All of these things have formulas. And if you turn that one formula into three, you will never learn them. Always learn your formula one way and use it that way forever and ever. Amen. And then when you're old like me and teaching 3 different subjects, you'll know all your formulas. And it's nice. It's nice not to have to stop and go, what's the formula for perimeter? I know it. I know areas. I know all of them. I know chemistry formulas and physics formulas. And it's because I always do them the same way. Substitute your numbers in first, then solve for your variable. You'll end up knowing formulas like me. I know I'm a nerd. I got all passionate about that, didn't I? Math is great.